Hello and welcome to the Smith & Brown Accountants episode 2 of the Excel video tutorials. Today we're going to cover how to hide rows and columns. We'll look at data filters, we'll look at some page layout options, and finally some simple formatting options. If I come across to the next sheet within the workbook, we have some example data, as you can see here. Within Excel, most of the data is already presented in what looks like a tabular format. So the techniques that will be covered in this session will help to format the data as required. The first option we're going to look at is how to hide rows and columns. For example, if we wanted to hide the top row of this table, if we didn't want the headings to be unsure, we would select, by clicking on the number of that row, select the whole row, and then we would right click to be given this information. Now if we look at the bottom of this box here, there is hide and unhide options. So if we were to hide that row, you can see Excel makes that disappear. Now if we thought we didn't actually want that and we want to unhide that row, what you have to do is select the rows either side of the hidden row as such, right click and then select the unhide option. You can see it appears again. The same principle applies to hiding a column. So if we wanted to hide the price column, we right click on the letter of that column so that it highlights the whole column, and we select the hide option and you can see it disappears. Again, to unhide, highlight each column either side, right click and simply press the unhide option. The next function we are going to cover is applying data filters to a table. So here, if we actually only wanted to analyze one supplier at a time, a quick way would be to add a data filter to the table. So if you select the first input on the table in question and go into the data tab, you will see that the filter option, if you simply click that, it puts in these filter arrows at the top of the table from the cell that you select. So always select the heading of each column. Now with those drop down options, once you select that, you can see that there are different options here which are all the inputs within the table in that column. So if we wanted to select certain types, we could deselect all, and if we only wanted to analyze 5-star, we click on that, and you can see as that's only ticked, if we press OK, then we only see the information for the 5-star supplier. If we then wish to remove the data filter, we select this button again and we can select all, or again select whatever we want to see. So if we wanted just to select 2, we would do that, but let's just get them all back for now. Because what I will show now within this data filter is then if you click that button again, you can also sort A to Z or Z to A using these options. The next function we will cover is the page layout options, which can be found in the page layout ribbon here. We will look at setting the orientation of a page and varying it between landscape and portrait. Very simply, if you find the orientation button here, and then we can just select landscape or portrait, and then once you come to printing, which will be covered in one of the tutorials, you can see that you will be able to see that the page orientation changes. When an orientation is selected, you can see that Excel puts in some guidelines for you here. As you can see, the grey dash. Now if we change that to landscape, you can see that that moves across and the bottom bit moves up, so we can see where the current page layout is currently sitting. Now we will cover general formatting of our data, which usually and almost all the time is found within the home ribbon. So for example, if we wanted to add a border to this table, we would select all the cells we want to apply the border to, and then we can use this option here to select which border. So let's have a thick outside border, and we could also select all the borders in the middle, and we'd have to select the thick outside border after that as it overwrites. And then say maybe we want a thick border at the top as well, so we can separate our headings. Other options in this home ribbon for our data formatting are we can change the colour of the cells. So for example, if we wanted the headings to stand out more, we could set the colour to black, and then we could also set the font colour to white, as can be seen. We can toggle bold on and off depending on personal preference. But also we can do things like we could change the format of the of each of the individual pieces of data within the table. So price is currently set here to currency. If you wanted to change that to an accounting format perhaps, and again personal preference determines what is selected here, but these are just the options on how to change it. Other options including merging cells, wrapping text, center align, and all of the other items that can be found within this home ribbon can be used to format your data in the way that is required. That concludes episode 2 of the Smith & Brown Accountants Excel tutorials. I hope to see you again next time.